you love to play. Oh, you love to play. Don't your comments won't relay. Sign this on my page for you. Oh my God, he changed. Young life, I can't see back karma. I just need some brains so I could keep myself in order.
He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time, and welcome to part 2 of the carousel of bad bosses. So, manager number 2, he tells her to come into the office. You come into the office, and you walk in, they're in there for a little while, but when you walk back out, as you're walking past, because it's like a window that I work in, well, it's not really a window, but it's an opening. So like the patients stand there, and then it's like a desk, well, it's like a shelf, and then like my desk is right there. So when you pass by, you cut me a look like this. As you walk by to your office. Why you mad? Why you mad? But I start laughing to myself. So once we get, because like the phones turn off at 12 or 11, maybe 11:45. I think it was 11:45. I know whenever it was time to turn the phones off, baby, we was ready to turn the phones off. And they didn't come back on until like 1. If I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so why you mad? Why you mad, so? You were told this schedule was in place for a reason. I had to go pick up my son. The previous manager, before OG came to fill in, until you came, changed my schedule. Everybody was aware. You were told. I told you, sweetheart, I can't work. Can't work past 3, ma'am. Can't work past 3. So you told me that either I stay or I leave. Okay. I called your bluff. So when the phones go off, you come up, can I talk to you for a minute? Can I talk to you for a minute? Can I talk to you for a minute? Before you go on lunch. I'm not on lunch, but go ahead. And so she was like, I don't want to interrupt nothing. I said, you're not. The phones are off. Go ahead. And so when the phones are off, like I'm prepping for the second half of the day, and then sending out, like if my doctor had already, or doctors had already faxed, had already signed like on prescriptions, had answered like their nurse calls, like I'm calling the patients back to give like, hey, this is what the doctor said, or I've already faxed over your prescription, or it's not time yet for, because we also gave out opioids, because we got, but it's a method to that. So either like the ones who would call and be like, hey, can I get some early, or if they were eligible to get like 2 or 3 early, or if they wasn't, it'd be like, he denied it, you have to wait until it's time for your prescription, because your prescription is not valid until, I think it's like you get a 30-day supply. If you use that 30-day supply way before time, you depending on the patient, you didn't get a refill. But I would still put it to the doctor, and it was up to his discretion, but it was a no. Anyway, so I was like, yeah, what's up? And so she was like, I really wish that you would have talked to me. I said, I did. You were talked to. You were told that the schedule was changed before you made your decision. And you said out of your mouth, if I couldn't stay past 4 o'clock, then I should leave. And I told you that I would. The schedule was changed before you got here due to the fact that I have to pick up my son. Due to the fact of where I live and where I worked is literally an hour to hour and a half, depending on traffic, away. You were told. I understand. Maybe there was a miscommunication between the both of us. It wasn't. But next time, like let's keep the doctors out of it. Not gonna happen. I was here with the doctors before you came. Anyway, so you ain't really feeling me, and I really don't care, because as long as you stay out of my way, because after that you realize like the doctors was on my side and they weren't on your side. So you realize like it's nothing for me and you. Like you burn that bridge. I'm good on you. So you are messing up a lot of stuff that you claim to have known or claim to have experienced, and you're messing a lot of stuff up. So the doctors are getting upset because a lot of things are not being done, or a lot of things are falling. Like you dropping the ball. Excuse me. So they bring in OG again to help train you, to get you up to date, so you can understand what is going, like the things that you're messing up and the things that you're missing, because you said that you had experience and you know what to do. Well, lo and behold, I don't know what happened. What was the issue? Oh, so billing had told a patient one thing, and manager 2 came behind billing and told the patient another. So it was like this huge mix up and it was like a long-term patient from the head doctor that ticked the head doctor off. So now, because that happens, you and billing are beefing. Really bad beefing. And then what's crazy is like billing and the manager share the office. So it was like when you walk into the office, billing desk is this way, and when you look this way, the manager's desk is this way. So they share an office, but they're beefing. So lo and behold, billing was like, I'm sick of it. I don't even know why I brought her here. And like they were friends outside of the work situation, because remember, billing was the one who referred her to our practice. So it's like y'all were friends. But with this whole situation that went down, you were trying to blame billing because you dropped the ball on yet another thing. You were trying to blame billing, and billing wasn't having it. So billing was like, oh yeah, no. So like they were like literally beefing to the point where they were bringing like outside personal stuff, information, throwing shots at each other. Baby, what we doing? And me and Nurse Warren was like, with our popcorn, watching. Sit back, watching. It was so bad when OG came in. She was like, she told the head doctor, she was like, you're going to have to do something, because this is not going to work. Well, lo and behold, it had got so bad one day. They were arguing in the office, and you can hear them. They had got so loud, it was in front of the patients, so the head doctor had to go back there. He said, hey, this is very unprofessional. He never gets out of character. Never. Real mild-mannered dude, but like could command like his stuff. You knew he was the boss, but he was real mild-mannered, right? He went back there and was like, hey, like this is real unprofessional. So when the patient left, he went back in the office after he had walked away to tell him it was real unprofessional, because he got quiet after he said that. He was like, he's like, it's like I'm talking to my children. What is really going on? What is the problem? And so they both started talking at the same time. He was like, one at a time. He was like, billing, I almost called her name. Billing, go to my office. So manager 2 was like, well, why does she get to go first? Why I can't tell you what I need to? He was like, honestly, you have been dropping the ball on a lot of things right now. I'm going to talk to her first, then I'll come to you. So Billy went in the office, and as she's passing by like the opening, she looked at us she looked at us smiling. And so me and Nurse One are laughing to ourselves. They went by, and then of course we like, girl, you know, we trying to keep it quiet because you're still back there. So we minding our business is minding us. They had been back there for a while, and then Billy came back out, and you heard Billy say, Manager 2, he want to talk to you. So she walked by, and she didn't even look our way because we don't do you, and you don't do us. So she went back there. So when she went back there, we heard the door close. Billy came up there and said, girl, she get on my nerves. Now I got to write this statement and say everything that went down and what's going on, what she messed up. I got to write this statement, and he got to compare notes against the patient. Like, it's just a mess. Like, I don't even know why I brought her here. Like, I shouldn't even looked out for her. Hence why I don't bring nobody on under my name. Because you get in here and start acting a fool in these people establishments. They're not gonna be looking at me like, why you brought this person here? Why did you bring me crazy? Baby, that's what we not gonna do. That not under my name. So I was like, rethinking your decision, huh? She was like, girl, I should have never. She was like, I really thought she was cool, because she was selling it. She was selling like, oh, okay, she real cool. Y'all ain't got to worry about the previous manager crazy. Y'all ain't got to worry about like nothing like crazy did. She real cool. She real down to earth. Like, it's not gonna be that type of party. Girl, she was worse than crazy. She was worse than crazy. Cause let me tell you how no boundaries it was. We had a Christmas party. We have two. We have a Christmas party at their house, at one of the doctor's house. Like, they rotated. We didn't have a huge staff. Like I said, it was Nurse 1, me. We're the nurses. Well, MAs, but nurses. We're the MAs because we can't call each other nurse, but they call the patients. We be like, the nurse. That's what they said, because literally it was called the nurse line too. So the two MAs, Nurse 1, me, in the front. Billy, the manager, that was the staff. You had, again, the person who did EEGs, but she only did them on Wednesdays. So if there was no EEGs needed, she didn't have to come in at all. She would come, check her schedule, or she'd be like, hey, can you call me if I don't have nobody? Or but if she has somebody, be like, hey, you got one patient, you got two patients, or whatever like that. Excuse me. That was the support staff. The doctors was head doctor, assistant doctor, Mrs., and we had a PA. So a total at the party was 8 of us. That was the part. That was the whole doctor's office. That was our staff. But one thing about head doctor, he was about his business, and his schedule was never empty. Never empty. And then you're a neurologist, and you coincide with sleep study. So please believe he wasn't broke. And he was extremely frugal. He was past frugal. He still had his pager. He didn't have a cell phone. In order to get in contact with him, you had to beep him. He did not. When he was on call at the hospital, they would get frustrated because we would have to page him. But one thing I will say, when you page him, he called right back. It wasn't you got to wait 20, 30 minutes. When he was on call, when you paged him and he wasn't in the office, he would call right back. And we would let him know, hey, you have a consult at such and such hospital, because he was on call at 3 hospitals, and so they rotated. You have a consult at such and such hospital. This doctor, this is what's going on with the patient. This is the number to call back. He was like, okay. Like, he would call right back. Now, my doctor, if he wasn't in office and he hated being on call. Anyway, so let me show you how no boundaries she was. We had a Christmas party. Everybody is there. So they have it set up like they have the food catered like in the dining room area. That's catered. It is alcohol galore. And when you walk through the door, they tell you, we are not at work. Get loose. We are not at work. Get loose. But me, I wish I still had that picture, because he had gave me the picture. I wish I still had that picture. Dang. Because me and the head doctor took a picture at the party, at the Christmas party. And so I did this pose, like when she was like, smile, his wife was like, smile. And I was like, and he was like on the other side. On the other side. For real. I wish I had the picture. I should have kept it. Oh well. Anyway, but we were real cool. Here's how I'm jumping. Go back. Okay, so with the picture, we were real cool because he shut up, Keish. He used to say stuff about my eyes, because he was like, why your eyes do that? And I was like, do what? Like, these are my eyes. These are my normal eyes. So my nickname from him was Foo. I know it sounds kind of racial, but it was Foo. Like Foo, like Kung Fu. I promise. Anyway. So we're at the Christmas party. We're having a good time. We're taking pictures. We're laughing. We're singing. They was clowning Mariah Carey at this point because she had just had a performance. The PA brought her husband, real cool guy. I got to meet the assistant doctors. Why? Because it was at the assistant doctor's house this year, the year that I attended. Dang, I wish I still had them pictures, because I would show y'all, like, on the way to the Christmas party. I don't have them pictures no more either. That memory card got distorted. Anyway, so she comes in and she brings, I don't think her husband was there. Her husband was not there, because at the time her husband was beefing, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think her husband was there. But anyway, we were all standing around the table and we was looking at the food. Me and Billy, we was looking at the food or whatever. And so Manager 2 started talking to Billy and started talking to the assistant doctor, who was on his, I think, third or fourth drink. He was lit, along with the head doctor. But anyway, so assistant doctor's wife, like, she's behind the table and we're talking, like, we're just having a good time. So manager, like, it's like a fruit tray and veggie tray, like right here, like it's like veggie on one side, fruit on the other. Manager 2 picks up the fork that they had sitting on the tray, so you can take that and put that on your plate, and then you take your own personal fork, like you put that back. She takes the fork, picks up a tomato, stick it in the tomato, stick it in the ranch dressing, put it in her mouth, and put the fork back on the plate. Me and assistant doctor's wife look at each other. She's Caucasian. She was like, and we looked at each other like that, and she said, can you pass me? And I said, gladly. Passed it to her. She threw it in the trash, and she put another one there. It's like, girl, did you really think like that fork was for you? Or did you really think like we always gonna go around and use the same fork to eat out? With the lipstick on the fork, you put it back on the tray, on the side of the tray where it was at. I was like, what? So anyway, while she's, so while Billing was in the back with the doctor, you're back there reading, because Billing had, So Billing was like, yeah, I got to go write this statement. So Billing went and wrote the statement on her computer. She typing away. So as she's doing a statement, Manager 2 comes back and she goes in the office. And so he comes back and he goes to the door and he was like, I don't ever want to experience anything ever like that again, especially in front of patients. You are adult women. Figure it out. So they didn't say nothing. It was quiet, like a library. Quiet. So he walked and he comes like, cause they used to hang out like in that opening. They used to hang out in the opening and talk to us all the time. So he came and he leaned like, cause he was real tall. He was like 6'3". I think he was like 6'3". So he leaned over on the shelf and was like, looked up at me and said, "Fool, what we gonna do?" And I was like, "Those are your people. Those are your employees, sir. I don't know what to tell you." And so he was like, "I'm going to my office. I'm going to do my notes," which he would do. He would do, like, when he finished his patients from the morning, when he literally go and do his notes. Quick fact, when I tell you he was meticulous, honey, he was meticulous. So he was like, "I'm going to do my notes. If you need me, let me know." I was like, "Oh, okay." So my doctor, if I'm not mistaken, during this day, he had already, he was still seeing a patient, if I wasn't mistaken, or he was in there minding his business. He was crazy. He was crazy. He didn't care what came out of his mouth, honey. He was a trip. Anyway, so what happened other than that? Oh, okay. So it was quiet back then. So, like, it was still, like lunchtime. And the rep hadn't showed up yet. Or had they? Or maybe they just sent lunch over. Because I don't remember a rep being there. I don't. But I remember, like, the assistant doctor coming out of his office. And he was like, "Lunch is here." And I was like, "Yeah, it's already in there." So, because sometimes, like, they would do catered. Ooh, it was this one catering company. His food was so good. Ooh, it was so good. We would be like, "Can you go to him again?" It was so good. It was a small business, but his food was so good. It was so good. Anyway, I was like, "Yeah, it's in there." He was like, "Oh, okay." So he went back in his office. So billing was like, "I'm going downstairs for me." She was like, "I'm going to my car. I need some space." So she left. So as she was walking out, Mrs. was walking in, and she would take forever. She would take forever. She was extremely thorough. She was a great doctor. She is a great doctor because she's not dead. She's a great doctor. Like, I know exactly where she is. She was extremely thorough, but long-winded. So you try not to schedule a lot of patients because it's like, girl, hurry this up. We gotta go. They get an hour. Like, if this is a consult, you get an hour. If this is a follow-up, they get 30 minutes. Wrap it up. Anyway, so she was walking in, and her office, she could hear everything that went on in billing and manager's office. So she could hear it through the wall. So when she came to the window, she said, "What was that?" And I said, "What was what?" She was like, "What was that?" She was like, "Because I can hear in my office." That was very unprofessional. What was that? What was the arguing? And I was like, "Oh." I was like, oh, you can hear? She was like, "Yes, I can hear through the wall, and so did my patient." I was like, "Oh, billing and manager too, like, had a little disagreement or whatever." So she was like, I was like, "It's a lot. It's a lot." She was like, "Oh, okay." She said, "So when you get time, you come fill me in." And I was like, "Well, manager two back there, you just go ask her. Go ask her what's going on." She walked back there and was like, "What was that? What was?" She was like, "That was very unprofessional." So manager two started telling her side and her edition of the story. So after she got through talking to Mrs. walked back out, and she did the same thing head doctor did. She stopped in front of me, and she was like, she was like, "I'm going to my office." She went to her office. So lo and behold, I don't know what happened or why I had to move. I don't know what happened or why I had to move, because I had to go to head doctor's office for something. I don't know if I had to go get him. I don't know. I don't know the reason, but I can remember, like, walking back up the hallway. And as I'm walking back up the hallway, manager 2 is at Billings' desk and you're reading, which didn't make sense because I was like, girl, I think she set you up. And I'm talking about billing because you were reading Billings. Manager 2 was reading Billings' statement that you was going to give out, that you was going to give to the doctor, to the head doctor. So I was like, because you're at her desk, like, and you know how, some people need to read out loud to, like, make it comprehend. No judgment, but I'm just saying, like, some people need to do that. So she's bending over the computer like this. So I went back to my desk and sat down. I was like, girl, she reading her statement. So nurse 1. I was like, she reading her statement. Well, lo and behold, Billing is walking in. She was like, I was like, girl, you had a good break? She was like, yeah, girl, it was much needed. So she's walking in, and when she walked in to the office, manager 2 said, you are a liar. You are a liar. You are a liar. None of that stuff is true. Change it. Change it, Billing. Change it now. And you're not saying this with your inside voice. You are not saying this with your inside voice. You are screaming. Well, I won't say screaming, but you're loud. Your voice is carrying. It's quiet. We heard head doctor door open. I said, oh, here we go. So he came around and he said, didn't I just say, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Manager 2 comes to my office. She goes to the office. Billy come and stand in front of us. She's like, that heifer crazy. What is wrong with her? And so, of course, Mrs. just said she could hear y'all. Here come Mrs. I'm trying to write my notes. Like, what is going on? So, Billing was like, I almost called her name. Billing was like, this is what she was like, in your office. So Mrs. went in the office with Billing. Manager 2 is with head doctor. Billing is with Mrs. Me and nurse 1, baby, the ghetto. We are enjoying the entertainment. So, head doctor comes out first with manager 2. I was about to say crazy girl because she was crazy too. Head doctor comes out of the office with manager 2, and he's like, why is that door closed? And I was like, oh, Mrs. is in there with Billy. He was like, oh, okay. So he said, wait a minute, to manager 2. He knocked on the door, and Mrs. was like, come in. I could tell the difference between the voice. And he went in and closed the door. So she's standing there, and then she said, have I not been good to you girls? Have I not been a good manager to you girls? So nurse 1 is extremely sweet. Nurse 1 was like, yeah. yeah. You're not gonna answer, Angel? Nah, I'm not. That's fine. The door opens, and manager 1 walks into the office. Head doctor and Mrs. are walking by, and at this time, assistant doctor comes out of his office. He was like, what is going on? When I tell y'all he was minding his business in his own world, oblivious all the time, he was. But when you would talk to him, mouth smart, slick as a can of oil, honey. He would throw shade and shots at you quick. Real quick. He was like, what is going on? He was like, head doctor was like, doctor's a meeting. So you can hear, still the door is open, so you can hear, as I said, they were friends outside of work. So you hear manager 2 says, billing, like, I don't even understand how we got here. We're supposed to be friends. We're supposed to be friends. How did we even get here? We're supposed to be friends. Doctors come back. Head doctor stops in front of us and says, manager 2 will no longer be employed here. That's even before you got your statement. Again, she was already dropping the ball. Again, OG had to come back in to like help you train, because it was like OG was training you and then she left and then you kept dropping the ball, and so OG had to come back in and kind of like redo a refresher's course, and then you went stuck with the patient, and then it was just a whole lot of, and they weren't feeling no more. Well, the head doctor really wasn't feeling no more. And like I said, he's real cool, real my man. And so for you to get him mad, like you really had to push it. Really push it. So it was like, oh, okay. So she was gone and billing was doing like the acting stuff, and OG had to come back full time. So when she walked out, I was like, welcome back. And as I said, the carousel of bosses, I'm counting OG. So it's like we had crazy, OG, manager 2, manager 2, OG is back again. So OG is back again, and so she was like, listen, and OG will only work till 12. She wasn't going past 12. She was retired, and she had told them, like, listen, I'm retired. I'm not going to have to do this. I'm not about to keep coming back. Y'all going to have to find somebody to make it work. Y'all going to have to find somebody to make this work. So, again, we are going along with the process of interviews, and people are coming in and out. And we choose they choose a person. She comes in for her interview. Yeah, she comes in for her interview. After her interview, she was supposed to be starting, like, I think that Monday. That Monday, she came in for the first day. She was there. She was excited. She was kind of quiet. She was excited. She was, like, oh, okay, I'm excited to work with you girls. Went back there. She was training with OG. We didn't see the girl. We didn't see her the whole day, which I can kind of respect and understand, because it's like, it's your first day. I don't really expect you to be up in the front, because you kind of be in the way. To be totally honest, we were a small staff, but we were fast paced. We were never busy. Our schedule was never clear. The only time the doctor's schedules were clear, there were no patients, because the doctors were taking off. They were out of office. That would be the only way. So her second day, she was supposed to come in because, as I said, I opened up the office. So everybody starts coming in around 7:30, 7:45. 7:30. OG had already said good morning, had already been in. 7:30. 7:45. 8 o'clock. 8:15. Head doctor comes and he's like, has the manager showed up yet? Y'all, I can remember her face. I can't even remember her name. Honestly. Said, nope. Said, okay. Went on about our day. No call, no show. The next day, OG comes in. OG comes in at 8 o'clock. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. Knew how you here? No, ma'am. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Tell me you playing, Angel. I'm not playing. She's not here. I said, maybe, maybe she's stuck in traffic. Again, we were in an area that was heavy in traffic. We were very close to multiple hospitals, and we were in a building that had multiple doctor's offices. So we were heavy on the traffic. So I was like, maybe she in traffic. Maybe she in traffic. Yeah, we're going to give her traffic. This is day 2. Well, this is day 3 for her, but day 2, where she hadn't been in the office by 8 o'clock. 9 o'clock, head doctor comes, says, new hire here? No, sir. He had already checked, but I was like, no, sir, she's not. He was like, all right. Gotta look again. That lady, I don't know what happened in the back, why she had training, but baby, she worked one day. One day. And she said, no ma'am, no ham, no turkey, no burger. It's a no for me. I will not be back. Not be back. She did not come back. She didn't even let them know. Didn't even call to say, hey, I found a better opportunity over on the other side somewhere. But no, good sis was like, forget you, your mama, the car, the dog, the cat, everybody in that office. It's a no for me. She did not come back. She did not come back. Baby, we are looking for another manager. So, crazy. OG comes to fill in. Manager 2. OG comes back to fill in. Ghost. All of them we have been through. And this is within a year. Within a year. So, the head doctor is upset. He was like, we're going to have to do something different. He was like, matter of fact, I know somebody. So, no, he was like, we're going to have to do something different. And so he had a friend that would come in every once in a while that would kind of help out. And so he was like, I heard y'all getting a manager, like, it's somebody he know. And we was like, And he was like, yeah, it's somebody we know. And he's somebody he know, head doctor. And I was like, oh. I was like, no, I don't think it's somebody he know. Because, like, we've been seeing people come through. And so, even after, like, this one interview, he had came and stood in front of, like I said, stood in front of the open. And I was like, why you don't allow us to, allow us to go in on the interviews, because the managers are going to be working with us. And, so we could get, kind of get a feel for the person. And he was like, because I'm the owner of the damn practice. And I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Put me back in my place. Let me shut the fuck up. So when he said it, Nurse 1 was like, I was like, right. And he was like, no, I didn't mean it like that. He was like, I'm just saying, like, I'm the owner. And I was like, yeah, I'm just saying because they're going to be working with us more than they will be working with you guys. So it would make sense for us to be in the interview to kind of get a feel. So it's not like a slap, like a mesh type, like you got to deal with this person regardless. It's like we kind of get a feel. We kind of had some kind of dialogue so where we can kind of get a feel for the person. And not like, because y'all barely see this person. You're barely going to see them. But he was like, it makes sense. He was like, but I don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So you don't know your friend done told on you, and it's like you already made your decision that you're going to bring in this friend that you know. So Nurse Mom was like, you think this one going to stay? I said, girl, I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life, and I'll see you in the next one.